Welcome back to the Have We Made It Yet podcast. I am comedian Josh Yang.
And I'm obviously the actor Lucasing.
Yes, obviously. And so welcome back to episode 6.
Hello.
Of the Have We Made It Yet podcast, the podcast where we, being new kind of entertainers on this path to trying to make it, we talk about our experiences,
Obviously.
Obviously. Our achievements, our setbacks, every little good thing there.
Yeah.
And I think the differences between this episode and the previous episodes, we're changing up the format a little bit. Previous episodes have been about 50 to an hour long.
Yeah.
And, we did about 5. They were pretty good, in my opinion. We learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
And I think now we're going to change it up a little bit just to see which may work better. So this episode and next couple episodes will be just half hour long, around 25 to 30 minutes. That kind of setup. And we'll see how that works. But, it's all the process of making it, just trying different things, seeing what works. Right, Lucas?
So just, the retention span of a Family Guy episode. That's all we ask of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Attention span. But, yes, at the top, we do ask, have we made it yet to each other? Ergo the name. So, Lucas, have you made it yet?
Absolutely not.
With such a smile.
Because, man, it's the process, man.
Yeah.
And back to you, Mr. Josh Yang. Have you made it yet?
I have not. I have not made it yet. But I think in terms of, improving my abilities as a comedian, I took a little bit of a step forward in that I did a show on Thursday of this week, a couple days ago, where I managed to do something kind of different, new, that I hadn't been open to doing before.
Right.
And basically, pretty much all of my sets going in. I have everything written out. I know exactly what I want to do. So I don't really leave much open to in the moment coming up with something on a riffing or anything like that. So when it came to Thursday night, I was doing a small show at the Blackjack Barbecue in Leslieville. And I was doing it with a friend of mine, RC.
Nice.
RC Shirazi, who I went to Montreal with. He was, and I think we should have him on as one of our early guests.
Yeah.
But he's a really close comedian friend of mine who really helped me get started in it. So it was our first show where we booked it kind of together, where we went to do it together. Yeah. And it was a pretty solid lineup. There were maybe, at the top of it, there were maybe 5-6 people in total in the whole thing that weren't comics. I brought 2 of them from my building. And halfway through the show, which is kind of interesting, these 2 local kind of musicians, also kind of hobbyists, just doing to perform.
Yeah.
They walked in and kind of started, because it's a small bar, there weren't that many people in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of cramped too. So it was when they walked in, the host was Jacob Balshin, who was running the show. He was doing his host duties, telling little jokes in between sets.
Yeah. And
he saw them and they're like, oh, I just have a conversation with them. It's what are you guys doing? And they were actually scouting the location, the venue, because they were going to do a show there on the Monday.
Yeah.
And they came in, it's we're just scouting things. And then the host was oh, you guys are singing, you want to do a song?
Nice.
So it was okay, we'll just grab a guitar from downstairs. So it was really impromptu, right in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
And it was in general, in terms of comedy shows, you don't necessarily want things to, break the rhythm of the flow of the show.
Yeah.
But it was a small show. Nobody was really there. So it was fuck it, whatever. This is kind of different, kind of interesting. The group came up. They were called Monkey Fight Snake.
Cool. That's a cool band, man.
Yeah, that's a really interesting name, right?
Yeah.
Monkey Fight Snake. And it's when they went up, I was maybe two comedians after. So they sang their song. They were pretty good, pretty decent. And so they did one song. And then when the host came back up, introduced the next comic. Yeah. And then I was after that comic. Right? And then it was in that moment, though, when I was thinking, it's I have my set list prepared, but it was the name Monkey Fight Snake is just it just kept ringing in my head. I was thinking it's coming up with different ideas and then it was I came up with a couple jokes and I was oh, I have to do it. Yeah. up until that point, I never really, went off the cuff, off script that much. So it was definitely something different that I hadn't done before.
Right.
And I wasn't, because I'm always slightly insecure about whether or not the joke will be funny.
Yeah.
Because I like writing it and thinking about it more. But this one is like, I had these two joke ideas in my head. I felt like if I don't try them or if I don't do them, then the moment's passed.
For sure.
You miss that opportunity to tell that joke.
Yeah,
because it's like that's such a weird situation, surreal situation for two people to just walk in the middle of the show and do a song. That is like, I had it in my head. If I didn't say it, then it'd be like I didn't do it. Opportunity missed. So instead, though, I decided to do the jokes right off the top, and I could maybe lead it into my other jokes. So I was like, when I went up, they were actually just heading on their way out. So they were like, I think they got a drink in the middle of the other guy's set. And they were on their way out. I was like, oh no! I took the thing. It's like, hi, my name's Josh Yang. He's like, oh no, Monkey Fight Snake is leaving. And they're like, oh yeah, I got a job in the morning. And I was like, oh no, I had a couple jokes. Monkey Fight Snake. Isn't that how coronavirus started? Monkey Fight Snake. That's how it happened, right? I got that joke off, and that went pretty well.
Nice.
Then I had the other one where it's like, Monkey Fight Snake. It kind of sounds like my home life. I was born in the year of the monkey. My sister was born in the year of the snake. So it's kind of just like the holidays to me, really. Monkey Fight Snake.
Did it get some good laughs?
That got some laughs as well. And it was like, I was happy I was able to do those in that moment. And they went off well because it was like one of those things where like you see more experienced comics being like, going off the cuff, being able to tell jokes, making callbacks and stuff, because that's what the audience knows. If you make fun of a situation, like it shows a little bit more poise. And I was happy I was able to do that in that moment, which I hadn't really done before. So that was a little rewarding experience for me. So that's why I feel like I made a little bit step because I was able to do that. But that was not it.
Hey, speaking on that, a joke just came to me in my head.
About Monkey Fight Snake?
And it's... Well, no, not about Monkey Fight Snake at all. It's about it's about produce, actually.
Oh.
So, here. What fruit can't get married?
Oh, I know.
Oh, did I already tell you this?
No, but it's a joke I've heard before.
No, you haven't.
Yeah. Is it? Do you want me to say it, or do you want?
It's cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's actually that common. I was actually pretty proud of myself.
It is such a really interesting play on words, the cantaloupe thing. Like, I remember seeing it the first time at like Whose Line Is It Anyway, the TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I remember seeing it. One of them. It was like a Scenes from a Hat episode, and it was like things you can't say, things with fruit or whatever, and then it was like. About marriage, and then the two actors came in. It was like, so cantaloupe tonight? No, I can't.
Fucking hell.
No, but hey, it was a good. The mere fact that you were able to see it and then be able to like, see where that could lead into a joke. I mean, like that's That's still an accomplishment because you weren't. Sorry, why did I say it? Okay, I'm sorry that
Thanks,
came off.
Josh. Thank you.
No. That
this
came
joke
off
brought to you by Sobeys.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, okay. Like the same thing kind of happened to me because I came up with a joke after watching Jeopardy, where it's like one of the questions was like one of the answers was like something algorithm, and I was like, algorithm. It's like, what do you call a former vice president, dancing at a tech conference? Algorithm. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, that's so clever. That's algorithm. And then I thought, it's like, wait, has that been done before? So I Googled it.
Yeah.
And apparently it was done before a couple years ago on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt as kind of like a throwaway one-liner.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same setup as I did, but they pretty much did the same premise, algor and rhythm, algorithm, and stuff like that. So, dude. I mean, it happens. It happens because you have either groupthink or like, something pattern recognition. You're just going to have people seeing the same thing, The only issue is if it's the only part of it being plagiarism is if if it's like beat by beat setup, words are so close to how it is, that it could potentially be plagiarism. But like premises on general topics, ideas, concepts, I mean, there's only so many you could touch upon as comedians. It's just how you apply your perspective and your style to it.
For sure. Yeah. It's usually about how you say things rather than the actual content themselves.
Yeah.
So like a few funny things happened this week. So, you know, like in the last month and everything, I've been going on a few auditions. Well, quite a few actually. And of course I didn't book them or anything like that, you know.
Well, not of course. Like you were in there. You were in there.
The story will explain, of course, because like, so there's this Cavendish potato chips commercial out right now.
Oh, not the TV show Cavendish. There's a TV show called Cavendish, isn't
there? No. Well, not that I'm aware of, but like...
I think it's like CBC. I don't know where I'm going.
There's this potato farm out like in Ontario.
Okay, Cavendish potato.
Cavendish potatoes, yeah. And then they make, what do you call it? Like waffle fries.
Right.
Like really good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they have a new product, basically asking the consumer to like be, are you team fry or is it a team chip? Okay. So like the commercial is like, it's a chip. And the person said, no, it's a fry. And the person says, no, it's a chip. And the person says, it's a fry. And they go back and forth in that commercial. So I actually have the script on my phone, and it was a self-tape audition one.
Yeah.
And so, like, when it said open casting call, well, no, it wasn't open casting call because my agent asked me to do a self-tape for this. So it was still private. So it just said open ethnicity, cool looking,
interesting,
young male. And, okay, open ethnicity, so, I mean, it could be anybody, right?
Open ethnicity.
I like that.
Is it like open ethnicity is like, yes, everybody's welcome, but...
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm like, okay, well, I have the self-tape and everything like that, and I did it with Vanessa.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's chip. No, it's a fry. And we go back and forth on it. I send it in, and it's about a week. Of course, I don't hear back.
And then Vanessa gets a call back. And then she's like...
You weren't even on camera, Vanessa.
That'd be funny.
You sold it with just your voice.
That'd be funny.
And then just this week, I saw it on TV. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a pretty fast turnaround time, right? Is that what you're
a week?
No, well, this self-tape audition was like, in the month's time, like a month.
Oh, you did months ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
like last month.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like semi-recent. Maybe I misheard that.
Oh no. And then so then I saw it on TV, and I'm like, oh, Vanessa, this is the audition that we did. Just you and I.
And was it open ethnicity?
At the end, no. They still casted 2 white guys. But I mean, fine. That's cool. This is actually more forgiving than the other example that I had.
Interesting. Yeah. More forgiving. Well, I mean,
more forgiving.
Okay, all right.
So in the actual commercial, it's just 2 white guys sitting on a couch like the one behind you, and they're just talking about the chips, or is it a fry? A chips or a fry? And it's like, okay, well, fine. I see that. Then my agent sends me out for another audition, right? I can say this out now because it's already out, and I saw this actually on my elevator TV.
Really?
It's for Biesel. I don't even know how you pronounce it. Biesel or Beckel?
Bessel?
The margarine? Yeah. The margarine company. So the project was called Project Spread. Okay. And the premise was just me having to shovel snow for an elderly lady.
Oh, I think I remember you talking about this one a while back.
Oh, yeah. Because like it was again another self-tape one. Yeah. And I took the handle of my plunger to imitate like the shoveling, right?
Yeah.
And the casting call, I knew I wasn't going to get it. It said, again, open ethnicity, but it said a big, burly Canadian guy, 35 to 45 years old looking, and he needs to look like a handyman. I'm like, I look nothing like that.
But open ethnicity.
Ethnicity.
So basically, I think what they were looking for was a big Asian man with a bushy beard wearing flannel. I think that's what they really wanted. They wanted a big Asian man with, an axe and like bamboo. And a flannel shirt and a beard helping a little old white lady.
Yeah, no doubt. It was
Pretty
like,
sure
it was
that's
like driving Miss Daisy, but like shoveling snow style.
Open ethnicity.
So, I sent in the tape, and this was my audition. Okay, so the whole thing just says, pretend you're shoveling snow, and then acknowledge the lady in the window. So,
Yeah.
Okay, to the camera there. And then out of scene. That's all I had to do for the audition. It was silent on camera, everything.
Yeah.
And then, like 2 days ago, I was on my elevator, and there's a TV there. Then I saw the commercial, and I was like, no way, that's the one. And guess what they casted?
What did they cast?
Like a 50-year-old big black guy. And I'm like, whoa, like,
that's good. That's good, right?
That's a good thing. But like, why did my agent even send me up for that? That's
like a 35 to what was it? You said 35 to 40.
45-year-old
okay.
open ethnicity.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why I'm getting submitted for these parts. Like, my headshots don't scream any of those specs.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. I guess you could kind of see like how my bias was exposed just now. Because when you said open ethnicity and it's like, Canadian guy, blah, 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 I immediately thought of an image in my head of making fun of that. But then when you said, well, who they actually chose was actually, somebody who isn't going to be the initial, idea that I had.
Yeah.
That's good. But then also, but then maybe in the end it just ended up being like, is there a thing where like you send out a casting call, you put out what you think, and then whatever you submit, they kind of make decisions based upon that, like how they think it maybe demos better or like
sure,
maybe how that works.
Yeah, but at the same time though, like the casting directors, they only see my headshots when my agent submits me in.
Yeah,
so I just honestly don't know how any of the casting directors, when they saw my headshot, they're like, yeah, let's ask him to submit a tape because I think maybe he would be fit for the role.
Is that how that works, where like you only submit a tape if you're asked to submit a tape?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. Well, maybe they just wanted options.
Yeah. And then the only thing my mom could say was, hey, Lucas, just pray. That's all you can really do, right?
Yeah,
just pray. There's no advice. Always pray.
Sometimes, like if in those situations where you don't really know, what they're. I mean, they know what they say, what they're looking for, but they don't really know what they're looking for. Sometimes it really is dependent on the performance in the silent tape. Maybe there was just something that guy did that is like
true
with them.
Maybe he wore a scarf.
Who knows? Maybe he went outside and like actually in the snow was like shoveling. I don't know.
Can you imagine though, man? Like,
I don't know.
The guy that beat me just had a driveway. Yeah. That was the one thing that he did.
I mean, they don't give you feedback. They don't, because I feel like it's so subjective sometimes that it's like you have no real idea.
Yeah.
What their decision ended up coming down to.
No, for
sure.
So
it's like, hey, sometimes praying is like makes sense because you got to put those positive vibes out there.
Yeah. Love is Blind.
Oh yeah, because we had a brief little thing about that, but yeah, Love is Blind is the show that's kind of really sweeping the world right now, and I for one 100% understand why. Like I got sucked in, so crazy to it.
So you're a big fan?
I am a big fan.
Man, you crazy.
And production value.
Add production. Yes, we're gonna up our production capabilities in the next few episodes. But I was like,
oh my god, I hate.
I got sucked into it, and it was like I could not stop watching because it was so ridiculous, over the top. Just I couldn't believe anything that any of those people were saying. But it was like. Because it made you kind of question, is like, are they really, is it really scripted? Because I know reality shows are scripted, but I'm wondering, like, is it that scripted? Like, how much do they really believe in this? And then I just kept watching, and then so much shit happened. And
like you actually finished from like episode 1 to the finale.
I've been waiting for. I waited for the finale. Like,
wait, what?
Like my roommate and I, like we literally waited.
Why'd you have to wait?
Well, because they released them 4-episode block. Then
I didn't know that.
Then, yeah, because that makes sense in terms of the format. And I actually think it's really smart that Netflix is doing that, because that's how you. No, it is okay. If you talk about on a entertainment, business money level, Netflix needs stuff like that, because how else are you going to drive people to watch on a certain schedule your platform? Like, how are you going to attract those eyes? Because before, they started the whole binging element, but now with everybody else putting out like binging material, you suddenly revert a little bit back to trying to get people to go onto your thing. And like, if by them spreading it out, like, I was waiting for the fucking finale. God, like the wedding.
I hate you so
the
much.
Weddings were so good. The weddings were so good.
They weren't good. Should we just end it off here?
I mean, I guess like we don't have to talk about Love Is Blind that much. It's it's not that important a topic. But yeah, okay. So that's episode 6 for you guys, and I think what we're also going to do is we're going to start promoting more our individual social media as well. So Lucas,
you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook at Lucas John Ing. And where can we find you, Josh?
Josh Yang Comedy. I've tried to make it as simple as possible, as immediate as possible. So you can search me up, Josh Yang Comedy, on Instagram. I do have a Twitter, but I got to figure out how to use it better. But I do have a Twitter, and Facebook page is also Josh Yang Comedy. Everything's there.
Nice.
But also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Can't believe that's my life now that we have to say it like that.
Yep.
But like and subscribe on YouTube. Once we get to 100, we'll have a custom URL. So that's what. I need that sweet custom URL. And if you're listening on any of the other podcasts as well, please follow us. Spotify as well. Follow us on Spotify. But that's it for this week. An alternate format, and we're gonna keep trying this moving forward. See how the results are.
All right.
Great.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.